Hello modelers, this is Frank with Galactic Modeler. Finally getting back to you. I've had a rough couple of years with my my family being ill and me having some illness and splitting up, a divorce. Anyway, I lived through it and I'm back into model making. I plan on doing about 30, 40, 50 models this winter. I live in the Midwest where it's perfect for building models in the wintertime. So this is the War of the Worlds, a Martian war machine, and it's a Pegasus model. And I've had it for quite some time. I built one quite a while back, but I ended up selling it when I moved and everything. So I just recently built another. And I'll show that to you right now and show you how our lighting kit was installed into it. And it was really a pretty easy model to put together. It just comes, the saucer part just comes in two halves. Mine was gray, so I just went and got some high gloss copper, because copper is a suggested color. And I painted the earth base that it's on in black, and I painted the continents and War of the Worlds in brass, just because I'm not a big fan of planets with the blue and all that. I don't know, I always think it looks cool to have everything kind of, the colors all meld together. Anyway, to wire this kit is fairly simple. I took some Velcro and put our AA 3-volt power supply that comes with the kit underneath here, and two micro switches that come with the kit. I took a Dremel and just made two little slots, and then super glued them with accelerator glue underneath here, and then ran the wires through the back, up through the curved stand into the base of the saucer of the war machine. And this has just static LED lights for the green area and for the green war tips, and then it has a strobing for the main added weapon up here that fried everybody and made them into piles of ash. I love the movie. I'm watching it right now. Actually, I got it on pause. And then it also has the weapons LED, which is super fast flashing, that kind of replicates what the ship looked like, in the movie, the way it this real fast blasting. Only thing is, they were using I think they were using kids sparklers from 4th of July or something like that shot sparks out for their animation. But for whatever it was, 50, 60, 70 years ago, it was pretty cool. It's still really cool to this day. And anyway, so I ran the wires throughout here to hook up the bulbs in the main war machine area where I would imagine the Martians sit. And then I ran the wires for the strobe and for the weapon up into this little, they call it the Cobra head. And that part's a little tricky because there's little stubs in there, with the pockets and the, stubs where you have to push them together and, form a joint. And, that was made up that way, but it wasn't made for lighting. So you've got to go in there with like a hobby knife and cut them stubs away to make room for the wire. We include in the kit super thin 0.30 gauge wire like this here, very like as thick as a hair. So you'll have no trouble running it up into the Cobra head. But yeah, I wouldn't try doing it with anything but that wire. You'd never get it up in there. But then do that, run it to the bulbs. You got to be real careful, and then hook them up, make sure they're working, and then hook them down, down through your neck, down into the ship, down through the stand, down to your power. So one set of wires, red and black, will turn on the strobe. One set will turn on the weapon. And we're going to show you that here in just a second. Like right now. Okay. So here's the main War Machine lighting. We'll get that turned on. There we go. And if you remember in the movie, it came out of the... There we go. We're going to turn the movie on and listen to it here. But when it came out of the asteroid, it just was strobing.
There are living creatures out there.
They're not human. Dr. Forrester said that some kind of event.
The part that gets me is when the preacher...
They should be nearer the Creator for that reason.
He says, they should be nearer to the Creator because they're from outer space. So he goes out, he's going to be nice and talk to them, and they turn him into a pile of ashes, and his daughter, or his niece, she screams like just insane. It's one of the only parts of the movie I don't like is how much she screams. She screams all the time. I would have definitely slapped her a few times, even though that's not a me movement action. Anyway, here's the ship with just its main power, and then we'll turn on the weapon.
Who's that?
There we go. And the weapon's like a super fast flashing. Now keep in mind, our kits have no. Alright, there she is screaming her head off. She kind of overacts that part a little bit. But our kits, I was just saying, have no resistors or circuit boards. All the LED lights, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. We'll just put it on pause there for a minute. But anyway, all the lights have their own strobes or pulsing or static built right into the bulb. No resistors, 3 volt